Step into the paranormal with Ernie Atwell and David Seiler, brought to you by Paranormal Inc., right here on WLFE DB Radio.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 57 of Step Into
Seems
the
like
Paranormal.
it should be more.
It should, but, well, we've done a couple of special guests and special this, so it's we're in the 60s, but, the official episode count, official is 57.
So what's new, Seiler?
Just day by day, brother. How you doing?
Hanging in, man. Been a busy busy weekend. Lots to do.
Yep.
Lots to do, lots to get ready for.
And not a lot of time.
Yeah, I know.
So you said before we started the show that you had a whole bunch of things to talk about. So what you got?
Where do I start?
At the beginning.
At the beginning. Well,
Very
everyone
everyone
knows in 2 months, man. You know what's in 2 months?
What's in 2 months?
The Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. It's the 5th annual, and kind of got a surprise this year. Everyone that stops by our table, they see all our merchandise and our shirts and hats and books and all that good stuff. However, I have done a little collaborating with a friend of mine, and we have been asked last year about something that we were wearing if it was for sale, and it wasn't.
No.
So this year, we will be revealing the old Bald Dude Paranormal T-shirts.
That's the one with the
they
beard,
will
the bald,
will be for sale. The only four in existence right now is me, Haney, Julian, and Porter.
I'm not even invited.
We've gotten a lot of requests if we sell those shirts. So this year, we're going to give it a trial run. So we will have a few of them at the bash.
We also have another type of shirt we're getting. Look at his hat.
This is just coincidence because I just came from watching the ball game. Baltimore Orioles, baby.
Orioles, baby.
And they won today.
Orange and black.
But we also will be having our traditional Paranormal Inc. T-shirts for sale. The magnifying glass capturing the ghost. But this year's emblem will be Orioles orange.
Yes.
So
come see us if you're an Orioles fan.
I have to give a big shout out to our friend Paul from Park Avenue Embroiderment, who is our distributor, and hopefully they turn out as good as we are anticipating.
Yeah.
But enough about that.
So we got a special guest today.
We have very special
Who we got?
guest.
Who we got?
We have a dear friend of ours. Her name is Dr. Rebecca Foster. Okay. She has a PhD in health sciences.
So she's a real doctor, for real.
But wait, it gets better.
What'd she do?
She is a clairvoyant, a medium.
And she knew you were going to say that.
And she's also...
She's laughing in the background. I can see her.
She is also an established author of 2 books.
Absolutely.
And I've had the pleasure of...
Put it further where they can see it.
Reading this one that Dr. Rebecca gave me a few weeks ago at an event we were at. But I got to throw this since we got her laughing.
I know she's busting out. Y'all see
all right, look.
She's just dying over here.
Since we got Rebecca laughing, before we bring her in, because I don't want to see her face when I tell this corny joke. But this is the best meme I ever heard. I was having some issues, so I went to my psychic medium's house. I knocked on her door, and she asked who it was, so I immediately left.
She's dying.
Without further ado, bring Rebecca in.
You guys.
How you doing, Dr.
I
Rebecca?
can prove I was dropped on my head when I was a baby.
I'm good, thanks. That's funny.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Taking an hour out of your Sunday. I know you've been busy, and man, we've been looking forward to this interview.
Me too.
I don't even know where to start. So how about we just start by letting you introduce yourself to everyone that's watching or listening.
Tell us about you. Tell us how to find you. Tell us all the good stuff about you. What do you do? Who are you? Why are you here?
Okay. Well, you guys you did a great job introducing me. So again, Dr. Rebecca Foster. I am a PhD in health sciences, but I've been a practicing medium for 36 years. So I'm able to kind of combine with my research, the investigative aspect of what I do. So it's not just kind of like, oh, wow, factor.
30,
it must be a ghost.
36 years.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
Did you start when you were 1?
No, I started when I've always had the gift. I've always been able to see things and talk to them. And it started with truly the first one I ever really dealt with was my great grandfather. And it just kind of snowballed from that until, you get older, you tell people I'm seeing things and they're going, we need to go see like a psych or something. And so I kind of went hush hush about it for a long time. And then I actually started using it when I was 13.
Let me say this. A few weeks ago, Dave and I and Mike King and Jeremy Leonard and a whole bunch of us, we and along with Rebecca, we were all at a weekend paranormal event. And the point of bringing this up, as soon as you enter the main building, it was Paranormal Inc. and Mike King and Dr. Rebecca. We were in the same room. So as the day went on, we got to talking to Rebecca. And for those of you that may be skeptic or not sure what to believe or just tuning in for the first time, I sat with Rebecca and we were talking about various things in the paranormal field. And a subject come up. I don't remember exactly what it was, something that had been written in my book. And Rebecca, and I still have this. You give it to me. I have it packed with my stuff I take on the road. But Rebecca did a sketch. Okay, she sketched out. Now she's never been to the house I grew up in. Hell, I haven't been there since I was I don't know how old. But she actually sketched out and described my house and what was occurring before I even told her. Before she even read my book. And I was completely blown away sitting at that table. So just for those who aren't sure how this all works, trust me, it's the real deal, because there is absolutely no way Rebecca could have ever known what the inside of my childhood house looks like and what I experienced. And she actually gave me the sketch that she did. So
wow.
But that blew my mind. I was hooked right from that point.
Very nice.
It was fun, actually. Sometimes, like, I think my sketch, because when I walk through, when I do like a remote view of places and people, sometimes doing the dimensional thing, it's like Stranger Things. It kind of flips and reverses. So I'm traveling and I can see it. And from my perspective, it mirrors what it was. And so I think the photo was right on, but it was like reversed exactly or something like that. It was like a perfect reversal of what you had. And
you even described outside the house and the noises that I heard. I mean, I was like, it actually kind of like freaked me out a little, because that's you know what I mean? Yeah. It's kind of like, woo, man. I didn't know what to think, but that was cool. That was very
fun.
Cool.
Well, yeah, because none of us had ever met. We were kind of just thrown together in an air-conditioned room. It was like 100 degrees and heat.
I think I made a lot of enemies at that weekend, because like you said, Rebecca, there was a lot of vendors outside, and that was the first heat wave of the spring/summer.
It was ungodly hot.
And where they had us and Rebecca set up along with a lot of others, we were inside and it was cool.
Yeah.
And like I would occasionally like walk outside and stretch a little bit, and they'd look at me. I'd be like, man, I got to come out and warm up. It's a little cool in there.
I heard some choice words to Ernie.
Or I'd get them as they come in the door.
It was. You just walk outside and you were beating sweat, but it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. You guys made the time actually go by so much quicker because we were able to just kind of chit chat and discuss and go over and discover. It was fun. It was a good time.
And actually, I think shout out to Jennifer Kennedy and her daughter. I mean, they did an amazing
job.
An amazing job. It was such a cool. What'd you think about the location?
I loved it actually. It wasn't super haunted inside. There was a couple. I don't really call friendly energies a haunting. I think they're just a presence. Same thing
Right,
with
right.
outside. Across from us was that little bit of a clearing in the woods prior to where you're able to walk into the pathways. And there were several gentlemen there that were just like, hey, we're still camped out. I'm like, y'all, this war ended like a long time ago. You need to go. Like, you just need to check in. And they were all still carrying guns and it's like,
Wow.
gosh. But they were all friendly. There was, nothing that was a haunting, so to say.
Did you, Rebecca, did you get to see the photo that Jeremy Leonard captured out in the field that not the prior night or whenever that
I
was?
don't think so. No, no, because
Man,
I had my night screwed up. The night of the investigation, I thought was the VIP, and then I was like, "Hey, Rick Hayes." I was like, "When's the VIP? When are you going to the party?" And he's like, "That was last night." I'm like, "Oh, that's right, wrong day.
Yeah,
I was off."
That was a fun night. That was a fun night. We were wondering where you were, and then you told me that I believe that was Saturday that you got the nights mixed up.
I did, yes. I was completely obliterated. It was late night the prior night, so driving and flying.
You had a long
drive.
Long flight.
Yeah.
For a change, Dave and I was only we about 2 hours from there.
Yeah, about 2.5. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, I remember you guys bragging about, "Oh, see you later. We're gonna get in the car and just go home." And I was like, nice.
Hey, we got a long journey coming up in 5 weeks.
So. Yeah, we're going all the way up to northern New York near Buffalo.
Sweet.
So Rochester area. Yeah. So
sweet.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
He has a book signing, and I have a very beautiful young lady there.
Oh,
sweet.
Now we me, Ted, and you remember Chris DeCesare that was at the event with us in the back, and
yes.
he was in the next room over.
Yes.
Myself, Chris, Ted Van Son from our radio network.
He's actually on the feed right now.
And one other young lady. We're doing a free paranormal lecture based on our book. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's always a good time.
If you don't mind me asking, I know how many from your bio, I know how many readings you've done over your career. Could you I just want to hear about what you can tell us about the readings and all that good stuff. I'm so fascinated with how you all do that. And tell us the number. I just want everybody to hear, but I think you should tell.
I've done a little over 60,000 readings in my career so far. Yeah, it's been crazy. I kind of went through the numbers over the years and I started adding everything up, and it may be a little bit more, but I'm just going to go with that average. And I do. The thing is I do, this is all I do. This is all I do. I've tried to do a lot of other things. I went to school. I wanted to have that background so that I would be able to have something to fall down and, use as a fallback in the real world, so to speak. And I love education, so I'm a total geek like that. But this is all I do. So I have my private readings that I do via phone. I used to do them in person. It's easier over phone. People can wash the dishes and drive to work if they want to while they're getting a reading. But then I do several free galleries a week on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. So the numbers just kind of, in a 2-hour period, I can read 30 people. So,
wow.
Yeah. But I like to travel. I like to go around and do investigations and then do a gallery. And so I travel around the country and I go to various haunted locations and we do galleries. I do a lot of fundraising that way as well. So especially if it's like a historical building or historical property, I will split everything with that property above what they would normally charge so that they're able to use that money towards that. So there's a lot of, philanthropy that goes with it because it's a gift. And so you're supposed to share your gift openly and as much as you can. And so for me, it's also a tithing when I do all of my free readings.
Right.
Nice.
How did you get involved? How did you get involved with the Paravation event that we all just came back from?
I have a lot of clients that are in Virginia. And it just kind of, everybody out there is, when are you coming back to Virginia? So it's kind of how it fell into place, where you can kind of find places. And someone sent it to me and said, hey, are you going to be here? And I thought, yeah, I am actually. Let's do it. So it just happened to fall into place. And I figure those are like little God's opportunities that he gives me to do. And if not, it's all good. It's not where I'm meant to be. So, yeah.
We have a comment from Andrew Darling. He's like, he wants us to come to Wyoming and investigate all of us.
Our friend Andrew, very good friend of ours. He's originally from Jersey, and he recently moved to Wyoming
on purpose.
Yeah,
it's snowing there right now still, isn't it? It's like there's roads closed.
Andy's watching, right, Dave?
Yeah.
No.
If I had that Andrew money, I'd be able to go build a house wherever I want in the country too. So,
right?
Maybe someday.
Yeah. Well, we'll hit it big on the lottery or something.
Yeah. Well, maybe if I hit the lotto, Andy, I can come up there and
He says it's only 70 now and windy.
Well, it's about the same here,
Well, yeah, it was like snowing yesterday. Like roads were closed, wasn't it? Now it's 70. It sounds like the Midwest.
Man. What do you got? What do you have coming up, Rebecca?
Well, I have a lot coming up actually. What is this, June?
I know it's going so quick.
Like, what decade is it?
Yeah.
I've lost track. Once kids are out of school, it's out the window. I even forgot last Monday that I had galleries to do. I was like, oh my gosh, I do have things to do today. So I do my own paranormal podcasts that I do normally on Tuesdays that are switching to Thursdays. And then I read for another organization as well on Mondays. But as far as travel goes, we're in June and I just lost track of all of my thoughts. But July, I'm going to be in the Omaha area. I'm doing a live investigation there at the Squirrel Cage Jail with Spirit Realm. Wow. Yeah. And let's think, I'm going to be doing at like Fort Dodge. I'm going to be doing a gallery there, a couple of, for one night. And again, that's like a fundraiser. So the Opera House there. So if anyone's in Fort Dodge, Iowa, listening, but going to be in Joplin, Missouri for a Paravation and then a Paracon, and then in Utah at the Phenomicon. So that'll be in Vernal in September. Yeah, October is.
I know a lot of people that'll be at that one.
It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to be doing a gallery at that one too, and the city set that up, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm so excited.
Without going into people's privacy, can we I'm very intrigued by the readings you do on people.
Yeah, well, I can tell you this. I don't want to cut you off, but you have a viewer right now. Her name is Colette Ludlow Haight. I think that's how you spell her name. And she has this, she has a female, like a mother figure coming through and telling her to put her chin up and to stop wallowing in anything that's been cut off from her lately and to start looking up like that. There's a purpose for that. Don't pout. Don't wallow. Look up. Don't focus on the doors that are closing behind you, because they seem to be pushing her out a door. Like she's standing in the doorway, like, no. And the doorway is like, and her guides are like trying to shut the door, which means that she's putting off massive change in her life right now, probably due to fear or uncertainty, as we all do. And there's a female, like a mother figure, telling her to go, shut the door, go on, keep going. So I want to give her that.
That's so amazing.
Yeah, I mean, she started to do a read on me, and I'm like, "Yep, love you, bye." Lord does that to me all the time, and I tell her to stop peeking up my dress. So, y'all are no BS, and when y'all start peeking into my no, you, no.
I try not to be intrusive. See, that's the problem. Be
intrusive, man. Tell us some good stuff about
him.
About who? About Ernie? Oh, okay. All right. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. You know what? Okay. So let's see what's going on with Ernie. Let's take a peek. Let's just see what's happening.
There's nothing going on with Ernie.
Let's see. Let me find Ernie's energy. Let me see where he is. So I can tell you this, Ernie. When I read for people, just to give your viewers an idea as to how I do this. So my guides have kind of taught me how to understand their language using symbols or symbolic language. And so they've always put me and the person I'm reading for out on a beach, hence my books. Well, it explains a lot. So the beach would represent safety, security, and grounding. And then water would represent an opportunity or a worry. And you actually, Ernie, are standing in a boat. It's big enough just for you. It's more like a dinghy. And it's anchored about 5 or 6 feet out in the water. And you're standing knowing that if you leap out of the boat, you're going to get wet. So there's a lot of patience here. There's a lot of just, you're standing there kind of with your arms crossed, and you are really afraid, not even afraid, knowledgeable is a better word, that if you jump from that boat to the beach, you're probably going to miss and it's going to cause problems. And so for me to see this that way, when a person is anchored in any way, it means that there is an opportunity that you have already gone for and worked through. And now God, the universe are attempting to integrate that into your life. However, the powers that are already in play within your life are not yet void and allowing for that opportunity to refill that position. It's just not time. And if it were to arrive on the beach, it would throw everything off and you'd think, oh, this was a bad idea. It doesn't work. It's not working. But it's when you're anchored, the anchor represents God. And he's saying, just hold on, be patient and trust me. Stay in the dang boat. When it's time, I will release and you'll float forward. And so, the 6 being like that 5 to 6 feet away. So it's been May and now we're in June. So this is something that will bring clarity to you for work in June, where you're finally going to feel like something that you have been like etching for a while is finally going to become like clear, clarified, perfected, and in stone. So something that you've been waiting for to hear about.
He described something to me recently that's coming about, stepping into that position.
It's coming. It'll be in stone in June.
I think this is just the way I perceive what Rebecca's saying, Dave. There's a possibility something might change for me at work, which to me isn't really like a big deal because it's just how I earn a paycheck. I take with what Rebecca's saying
to the other side of the coin, which is what I'm saying.
More in depth regarding my life or my mission of why God has me here.
Yes.
I look at it along those lines instead of like career based. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
I feel what she's saying is much more deeper than my job.
Well, what I'm saying is, and without divulging too much, is that pathway you were talking about, which way you want to go down that path. And you're at that crossroads of either going down this way or the other one that you were talking about taking. So I'll leave it at that. We can talk off there. That's what I was hearing.
Well, it's interesting that you put it that way, as like a crossroads, because at a crossroads, there's what's behind you and you can't go that way. And forward is pretty much, from what I can see, a straight road. There are no exits for you to detour off of or anything. And when you said go this way or that way, there really is only going to be one way to go for you. And that is the direction that is going to probably be the most uncomfortable. And the reason I say that as well is because you are wearing like these boots and some jeans while you're standing in the boat. And shoes always represent a feeling or the reality, like a perception of a situation that you're being held back. So you have to look at the external things happening, like the situation or the person around you that is preventing you at that moment from really fulfilling what you need to fulfill. So it'll be working through an uncomfortable moment to get what you know is what you should be doing and what you want. And that can sometimes mean I want to do this, but it's not as much pay, or I want to do this, but it's going to make this person angry or upset. So there is something earthly that God's going to go, here's this awesome gift. And you're going to go, oh, but the earthly things are going to get like kerfuffled. And I'm just going to say, when God hands you a gift, you take it, you figure out a way to make it work. And then the people around you, the humans around you, have to figure out how to understand it. And I'm pretty sure vibing on that too. Your wife is like, whatever, I don't care. Just do it. Whatever makes you happy. It's somebody external to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is like that too.
Yeah, I'm totally. See, because the reason I'm baffled because I have a way of talking where I just confuse the hell out of everybody, and I don't mean to do it. Anything that you pick up on me or tell me about me, my first thought is always spiritual, God related, above the everyday humdrum of waking up, doing chores, go to work.
Yeah.
Now, when you started reading me just now, my mind automatically, Rebecca, went that way, where I think Dave, I just had a long talk with Dave last week about something possibly changing at work. So that's what fired off in his brain. But my brain, being the way I am, I automatically thought something for the greater good or the greater mission or along those lines. So
agree 100%. 100%. Yes. It's funny, I talk about this a lot lately because it's been so chaotic in the universe and in people's lives. And your viewers are here for a reason. They're obviously into the paranormal, and they're into the things that are uncertain, questionable, are highly unresearched. And I can tell you that for all of your viewers being here and what you're going through, what everybody's going through is this massive awakening. And for the reason I bring up people here that are here already is because they're already considering everything that's possible, maybe unknown, requires a faith. And those people, the ones here right now, are going to have an easier time as this veil starts to lift like a curtain, and they start to see more out of the corners of their eyes, and they start to feel more and sense more other than what their eyes are revealing to them. And it has brought about this amazing awakening going on. And now, for everybody listening, if you've felt that, it's time to act on all of that awakening and the realizations and the visuals and the feelings. It's a pretty amazing time right now to completely alter and change your life if you just trust that you're worthy enough to receive it all. It's pretty awesome.
Well said.
Yeah. I just thought of this. I told you about it, but I want to let everybody hear. 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, us and New Jersey Paranormal Investigations, we did a collaboration public investigation in, where was it? Bolton Mansion in up past Philadelphia. Fun. So a friend of mine, we were upstairs and we were talking about you, Rebecca, and he told me that he heard of you or whatever, and I showed him your photo and he's like, yeah, that's her. So anyhow, we go downstairs and join the group that's down there investigating. And I started, I forget what I was talking about. And on one of the obelisks, on the obelisk, the word came up, psychic.
Okay.
So I was like, wow, we were just talking about Rebecca, right before I come downstairs. And I said, okay, if you're speaking to me, I said, can you tell me my friend who's a psychic that we'll be working with? And my hand to God, the next word come off that obelisk was Rebecca.
It's amazing. I love that.
I got to get the video because there were several people filming, but that was just.
I actually have the video loaded from the music box portion.
Oh, really?
You want to take a second and run something? Would you mind if we took a second?
Go ahead.
You got to
see this. Watch in it because I asked for something very specific, and they give it.
Okay.
Right thing, and here we go.
Area. Damn.
Oh my God, they're all coming out.
Wait, didn't he say this was the underground?
Immersion.
Can you show us where you are in the room again?
I'll tell you what. If you can make that music box go off in the middle again with all the little dots around
Left.
Left?
He's either to the left or he left.
There's
somebody there.
Nobody's moving.
Dave, you just asked for that to go off.
Yeah.
Is that you that is that you that just played the music?
Can you do it again, please?
Intermittent.
Oh, only intermittent.
Can you make the one go up on the hill off?
Oh, wait.
Oh wow! Is somebody out there moving?
Nope.
Oh, that's cool.
That's strong too.
No shit.
There's nobody out there at all.
Dave, this
It's going again.
this shit's on command.
Yeah.
Do you want to play?
Period. The cool thing about that, Rebecca, at the very end, if you catch it, when the whatever device we were running says, "Do you want to play or would you like to play?" Immediately at my feet, they had the light up cat ball. The cat ball
Started lighting right there,
lighting.
and it was in dirt, so we couldn't move. And it all the music box goes off. That, and then do you want to play?
Let me ask you this. Okay, so at that establishment, was there anything to do with it in terms of like slavery or Underground Railroad?
Absolutely.
Because that sounds almost like you're dealing with this mechanical voice on the machine, but it almost looks like you're dealing with a little girl, maybe about 11 or 12, that was probably a runaway slave or finally like seeking freedom with her family.
Wow.
They were talking about a young lady who actually was in the basement that something happened to.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to a conversation with that while I was there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
See that location we were at there, Rebecca.
Our first time ever. And
it was our
great.
first time ever. And prior to going in, the other host team that was with us, they asked us if we wanted, any backstory, and we were like, "Nah, man, we want to go in cold, just since it's our first time." And there was guests paying to come there, so we just went in completely cold. So we knew nothing of what we were getting until after we got it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah. I have a question. Every time we have a psychic, medium, whatever, I always have to ask this question because I just love to hear everyone's response. There's no question at all about what you do and how amazing you are at doing it. Completely blows my mind. And I have to always refer back to that sketch you did because that was incredible. But let's say, all right, when we're done tonight's episode and you gather up your children and you're going out for your frozen yogurt.
Uh-huh.
When you walk into a place, and it doesn't have to be a haunted mansion or a church or cemetery, when you walk into a place like that, being who you are and the gifts that you have, is it a point where can you mentally turn it off and be like, all right, look, not now, man. I'm just here to get some yoga. You know what I mean? Are you like, how does that work with, the spirits coming to you, or, they may have a message for you or a message for you to get to someone. How do you turn that on and off? How's that work for you?
I turn it off. I just, when I was 28 years old, I had a very eye-opening experience with this gift. And I had actually walked away from it for a little while because it was like God was saying, hey, you're not giving me any glory here. And you're just doing your thing all the time. Like you're Miss Genie, super wonderful. And he was like, you want to deal with that? Then here you go. And he handed me the door of hell. And so I quit reading for about 2 years. And this woman who is now passed over, I don't know how I found her. I really don't know how she fell into my lap, but she did Bible readings and she helped clear up what I was supposed to do and how I was supposed to do it. And she said, your problem is you don't turn it off. And I went, you can turn it off? Wait, what? And she goes, this is what you've got to do. And she just started teaching me that it's like a light switch, just turn it off. So of course I don't have to do a light switch anymore, but I go into places all the time and I turn it off. But if I'm long time sitting at my table at a restaurant waiting for my food, I might just start reading what the people are doing around me, and then people will be like, "Oh my God, she's reading people. What do you pick up?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, he's cheating on her. Holy cow, they're and so it gets to be a lot of fun like that. But other people are just like, "Would you please come back? We don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to read people right now."
Stop picking up my
Well,
dress.
see, I could tell. Like, I don't know if it has to do with the type of person I am on the inside, or maybe because I've been doing my job so long, but I feel, and this is self-proclaimed, that I'm a pretty good judge of character. Okay.
Yeah.
And I kind of got that, you know how they say, like, if your dog don't like them, don't trust them type. I kind of got that. Maybe I got it from my dog, but
The one who pees on me? Yeah.
That
when
says
we
a
were
lot,
there-
Dave.
when we were together in Virginia, I mean, I could tell when you were going, I don't want to say you're a trans-like state. I don't know the proper terminology, but I
It's right,
knew
it's right.
what's that?
It's about right. Yeah, it's like a trans state.
But I knew when you were doing that transformation, or when something was present, because I was so in tune on your mannerisms and your movement.
Yeah.
But here, my thing is, like, for example, when we were talking about Sandra the doll, and that's a whole different story about what happened when we were in Virginia.
Yeah.
But when you're just sitting there, like we were sitting there talking and laughing and carrying on, when something is present, how do you always know it's present in the same fashion? And what I mean is, like, do you hear them first, or do you see them, or do you feel like, or is each time different, or is it always the same way? Does that make sense?
No, you know what? There are times when I sense it first, and it always worries me because it's like, why won't you show yourself to me? So that kind of, if I feel it and they won't reveal, that worries me. Like, why? Why are you trying to trick me? And what do you actually look like? But a lot of times, if I walk into someplace, if I'm just like tonight going to Menchie's, I won't turn it on. I will ignore it because it's exhausting sometimes. But however, I might be standing behind you at a Walmart and somebody's like, "Yeah, could you tell my brother I said hi? I just died and I love the flowers and thank you so much." And it's like, no, I'm not. Just
Right.
please. And they will be annoyed, like bug. And finally, I'll be like, okay. So I will, excuse me, here's my card. I'm not a crazy person. I'm supposed to tell you this right now. Okay, thanks. Have a great day. Bye. And then I'm like, meh.
Now, let me ask you this, Rebecca. All right. Let's suppose, when I pass over, that my soul has the capability of coming back, or the energy of trying to make contact.
Yeah.
So when I'm crossing back over into my spirit's crossing back over into what we know is the living realm.
Yeah.
How does a spirit know, hey, that lady right there with the glasses, she's the one you need to speak to? How does that spirit know who the clairvoyant is, who the medium is?
A lot of it has to do with energy. It's what we exude. And the more open you are to understanding that there is something else out there beyond what you can see, it provides a bit of a beacon, and it provides that energy. Somebody actually just spoke into my mic or your mic. I don't know. It was a female voice, just spoke to one of us. So you'll have to go back at the 39 and 40 seconds and listen to it. That was great. I didn't hear it because I was talking at the same time, but she spoke just as I was speaking. So
yeah, she interjects occasionally.
she did. So,
What did
like
I just say before we came live what did I just say when we were running the equipment down here?
That you were hungry?
No. Listen, we were testing out a new speaker. So we were running the Phasma box down here.
Okay.
We were getting immediate responses, and
Okay.
it seemed to be around when we mentioned Sandra the doll. However, I asked the question, how many spirits are in Dave's house?
Okay.
And a very distinct, isolated voice immediately responded 3. Now, I said, look, we're getting ready to do our live broadcast. If at any point while we're live, if you want to make yourself known, you're welcome.
She did.
Just
She did.
do something.
She did.
So
He did. He really did.
Wow.
So
Well, I heard it, so you should have it on a recording. So, but you know, and also to finish answering that too, Ernie, a lot of times when people don't just like strangers, let's say a ghost, a person, a spirit that is a stranger to me doesn't just come to me unless they're really trying to get some form of contact with the person they know, because they will show themselves in the context that person would understand them or know them in life. So if they were ill, or if they were a cancer patient, or they had lost their hair, or diabetic, their height, the way they smell, if they smoked, what they like to eat, they'll bring all of that with them so that I can explain, this is who I'm seeing. This is what they sound like. This is what, and if they have an accent, they may sound like this, or this is how they talk. They want me to understand, they'll like come through with an accent, and they'll help me to understand that. They will what's interesting too, is they will say words in other languages that I obviously don't speak, but it'll translate. The person I'm reading for will understand that message. Like, I just actually spoke Polish. Are you kidding me? Like, in front of 25 people, I just spoke Polish. And they'll pass on a specific message that maybe is not meant for me to understand, but for that person to understand. Otherwise, I'm just a big ball of light.
I just want to read this from Layla. I put it up on the screen when she firstly met you. You picked up on a health issue, and over a year she had Dr. Stump. You told her what to do, and it stopped the next day.
Wow,
that's pretty cool.
Lala, you're awesome. You're awesome.
I tell you what, because we spent a lot of time with Rebecca over that weekend. And the thing that, of course, impressed us, but it was even more than that, because it answered so many questions that we just couldn't get the answers to, was about Sandra the doll.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the backstory, the whole Waverly Hills thing, and the little girl that owned her, we got all that. But what Rebecca picked up on just fine-tuned the information that missing piece of the puzzle.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it was just so amazing, the things that we found out from you about her.
Absolutely.
Because gosh knows, man, we've been trying. Dave's been trying.
I've been trying to find just any history I can find on her.
Yeah.
And there is so fragmented documents, anything on the web that just, and I'm pretty good at what I do. I mean, I can find, a needle in a stack of needles. I'm good at it. And there's literally from about 1908 to about 36, very little information. It is just scary how little.
But here's the thing, Rebecca. I don't know if we speak quite frequently, but I don't know if I've mentioned this to you. Dave's had a lot of activity, an increase in activity since we took possession of Sandra. Now, my whole thing was, when we opened her up, encased her, and we did the whole documentary video, we never felt anything bad. We really didn't. That's why we keep it open.
She's not salted, she's not bound.
We didn't bind her to the case.
Frankly, she's not encased either. The case is open. She's free to roam.
My point is, when Rebecca told us what she gathered about Sandra and the little girl who owned her, once that was revealed and we addressed those specifics, everything basically in Dave's house stopped.
Yeah. Ever since we came back from Virginia, every now and then I'll hear a knock, a bump, or a cabinet may still open, but it's relatively peaceful again.
And see, my whole like by no means am I anything as far as medium sight, nothing like that. But I just had this overwhelming feeling, and I think it was just based on our research and our study of the doll, that I think, like when we take Sandra and we have her on display like we did in Virginia, I think it's just a
Did you just see that at the same time? Lila and her both heard whispered at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yep. I heard at the same time.
I think when we take Sandra and we display her and we talk about her and brag about her, I think it's just a way of
honoring her.
Just honoring her.
Yeah.
And I think that's not what only what she deserves, but I think that's what she likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In her life. Yeah.
Right, exactly. But it's just, and we talked about this, but everyone has the misconception, like, you know, when we use the word haunted, everybody thinks of, ghosts and scary, and
Yeah.
not the true meaning of what a haunting is. So when we say we have a haunted doll, everybody's first thing is, did you just sprinkle salt
Salt on
around?
it? Did you
do
bind her?
Did you do an
No.
exorcism?
She's
No,
free to roam.
right? Yeah,
I found her right here on the counter several times.
not every haunted item. Well, the term
scary.
haunted item is something scary
Right,
and
malevolent. It's not.
demonic and all that stuff.
No.
So I think, like, how like certain dogs get a bad rap just because of the breed they are. I think a lot of
I know a pit bull who pees on me.
I think a lot of the haunted dolls get a bad rap just because they possibly have some sort of attachment, or not, like you said,
or bad TV show appearances.
Rebecca, we always were thinking it was an attachment to the doll, where Rebecca clarified that the little girl that owned the doll is around, but she's not attached specifically to the doll.
Right.
Is that correct? Did I screw that?
No, she can move around. I think the doll moves because she probably picks it up and puts it elsewhere. Like the dog doesn't get up and walk over there.
Right.
Moves the doll. If the doll moves, it's probably because she's playing with the doll. But she also, Dave, she's also saying that she really loves chocolate, and she hasn't had chocolate in a very long time, like maybe one piece when she was little. And so if you lay chocolate out somewhere.
Absolutely. I'll put some down here in a heartbeat.
Unwrap it, leave it out. Yeah. See what happens to it. She just loves chocolate.
I'll go upstairs now and grab a
few. It was like a present back then for her. It would have been a present.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I'll drop some down here tonight for real.
Wow.
And let me ask you this, Dave, did you like bang your shin or your knee or something?
Stop peeking up my dress. Yes.
She's talking about that
in the bathroom this morning. Oh my God. I cried for like 10 minutes. You know how you turn there's a door hanging out, apparently, and I got off doing my thing, turned around to grab my short and knee right into literally the side of the drawer, and it's like
oh my gosh, that's crazy. Well, she's talking about you being a big crybaby, so I put that out there.
I cry like a baby. I do.
I'm kidding. She just is mentioning you having hurt your leg. So.
Oh, I did. I was like hobbling around for probably an hour up there. I'm yelling. There's nobody here. It's Father's Day, and there's nobody here. I'm just yelling at people, and it's like, God bless them.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're never alone. You're never alone. That's always, you thought you were alone, but she was like, are you okay?
I probably have like 40 spirits going, dumbass.
Exactly. But she cared. She cared enough to mention it. Like, it's okay. I was there.
Thank you.
Wow.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, she's good. So I come down here and talk all the time.
I also want to address too, Ernie, what you had said before, you may not be a clairvoyant or a medium, but to do your line of work, I think part of it is you learn how to tap into your intuitive psychic gifts, because it protects you by doing so. To understand your environment isn't just your eyes, it is that hair on the back of the neck feeling that something doesn't look or feel right here. I think it protects your life, and I think anybody in your line of work really does rely on those instincts of being able to not only feel it, but understand the profile of the situation and the person you're dealing with. So I think it becomes heightened in individuals that open themselves up to it. And it does become something you rely on immensely. So it's there. It's there. And it is used now, especially because you're doing this line of work. So something opens you up to it, and that door opened, and now you're kind of like crossing the bridge there between those. But I think that's a good thing to have, to be open to it.
I don't know if it's anything out of the ordinary, but it's just, I feel that I just have this way of reading people.
Mm-hmm.
Like it, I can and I could be wrong. I'm just saying.
No,
what
you're
I,
not. You are not
But
wrong.
I can walk into a store and someone be talking to the clerk, and I feel within like 10 seconds, I can tell you what type of person that is.
Right.
I don't know if it's by what he's saying, if it's trigger words that I'm hearing,
It's
or
the body language.
the body language, but
You're
I
I'm,
know
feeling it.
what
You're
body-
sensing it.
right.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in I used to be a police officer as well, and I would walk into a
So
place
you get it.
and you could feel you could feel the good and bad in there. You really can. Like if you knew somebody was up to no good, you could you'll turn right on them and see them for what they are. It's really bizarre.
What you just said is important too, because what you're talking about is that superficial way that we all walk into a room and we assess the room, and our energy goes out like tentacles and it wraps in a superficial way around all the people. And we discern, okay, I don't know if I want to be, this is, we do a superficial feel and touch of all the people. And you immediately will pick up on like, ooh, I don't like them, staying away from them. That's bad. I'm walking away from you. Pick up on that. And that superficial touch that we do is usually just the cover. And then later on, we may find a conversation with that individual. It's like, wow, whatever you're putting off, I didn't want to talk to you at first. I've had that experience. Like you put off a really bad negative energy.
It's like you could feel the tension in somebody's energy or whatever it is. You could feel that.
Yep.
And
it's usually superficial.
I'm not clairvoyant. I'm not psychic, but I tell people I have that spidey sense that tingles, and I always listen to it because it's gotten me out of many a jam.
Exactly. Yes. Because what they're putting off may be their legit personality, and it might not. They might be afraid or embarrassed or nervous, and so they put off a weird energy, and it's deciding on, am I going to get to know that individual more? Maybe I'm just going to watch, but it comes down a lot to understanding behavior too. So it really does lend to understanding the paranormal stuff as well, because you're like, wait, I saw that behavior, I felt that behavior off of this criminal or this person, and now I don't see anyone, but I'm feeling that same tension. So it's like, this is uncomfortable. So it just helps you develop your gift more.
It's like hearing that creepy music right before the axe murderer does something in a movie. You hear that creepy music, shit's about to hit the fan.
People are about to die. Yeah.
Like, and I don't know. I've never been able to explain that, but that's a good way to explain it.
Yeah. That's it.
I was telling Dave last night, Rebecca, what I was telling. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but because I normally don't talk about personal stuff, but the two of things I experienced at my house over the past couple of days, and it was just my mind is blown, because normally when someone experiences something paranormal, your first thought is it's nighttime, you're in the dark, you're looking for it.
Yeah.
But just I'll share it with everybody. The other evening, I was home watching the Orioles game, and it was completely daylight. I'm in the basement, all the lights are on. To my left right here, I have shelves with all my toys and stuff on it. So I'm just sitting there like this watching the TV, and about 4 feet tall, something walked past the shelf and stopped, and then immediately just went back. And like I said, all the lights were on. I was washing clothes at the time, so it wasn't a shadow or a trickery of light. Something literally came from behind that shelf and then backtracked and went back. And I was like, well, I couldn't process quick enough what I just saw. Yeah. But the funny thing is, the very next day I was downstairs doing some work. I was building more shelves and stuff. And I have a TV stand, and it has the two doors. You shut one, you shut the other one over top of it, and they click. Mm-hmm. And I've never, ever, ever in the 5-6 years they've been down there. I mean, I even have my drums down there. So my house is vibrating. These doors never open. And I ran up the steps. I think I made a cup of coffee. And when I come back down, the doors underneath my TV stand were completely all the way open. And they're heavy wood that if just the latch would pop, they'd shut again. But they were literally all as open as far as they could go. And I was completely blown away, man, because I was like,
he called me up, Dave, you're not gonna believe this.
I love it though, but it's just it's a whole different thing when it happens in your house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because I don't believe in provoking by no means whatsoever.
No, you do. Only if it's in my house.
That's what I was
Hey, Dave, don't put a camera on that, and you're in it. No.
Actually, one of our seminars, Rebecca, is it's spirit provocation / why you shouldn't.
I don't.
Except for Dave's house.
Your Dave's house, poke the beehive.
I will not do that. It's like if you're going to summon an elephant, what are you going to do when it gets to you? Why would you provoke anything? What are you literally going to do? Because they can actually hurt you.
I'm teasing. I don't provoke it, Dave. But Dave, at one point, Rebecca, there was a lot going on in Dave's house.
A lot.
And I was like, Dave, just set a camera up while you're sleeping.
No.
And if you don't want to review it, I'll review it.
No.
You know, I even tossed this idea out there. Set up a 1 hour camera, right? And Dave doesn't have to review it. But the next episode of our show, we'll just show the 1 hour video and let everybody review it.
To show you how wild the things that were going on here, my cabinet doors would just all open at one time. And I'd walk in and go, come on. Well, we actually did a show with Josh Hurd on it. And so Ernie, I kept telling him it keeps happening. So I came downstairs to get everything set up for the show. I'm the tech guy. He put a camera on my kitchen directly. Looked in the kitchen, everything's closed, turns around, hits record on the camera, and walks downstairs. In the middle of the show, you hear this loud crash like somebody kicks in my front door. Look back on our videos for the one with Josh Hurd.
Because Josh when that loud noise, Josh
heard it.
Josh is even like, what the hell was that?
I went running up going, oh my God, somebody's kicking in my front door. I'm looking around. There's nothing. But I wander into the kitchen, and, of course, all the cabinet doors are open again.
That's cool.
And you hear me in the video go, Ernie, they're all open again. And he's down here going, yes, we got it on camera. After the show, we went up to review the footage. From the time he looked at the kitchen, turned around, took 2 steps to hit the record, they all opened behind
They opened between me stepping out of the kitchen and hitting record. So
awesome.
We didn't get it.
So, I think you should. If you have activity, you should set up a night vision. I have 2 amazing catches with night vision from a little boy. I know we're running out of time, but I had a little boy that had been in my house. I didn't want him there. He just decided to come stay with us for a couple of years. His name was Gabriel. And my son Joshua every night would be like, stop it. So then I'm like, forget it. I set up a night vision. I catch Gabriel. It is the most amazing video. I catch Gabriel moving his blankets. Josh is asleep facing the camera. Gabriel comes up. You see his head and his face, and he pulls the blanket up, and he goes back down, and then he gets to the end of the bed, and you see his full body leapfrog right off the bed. And I was like, Gabriel, leave him alone while they're sleeping. Well, I tend to bring things home with me, and I had this energy. I'm just going to say energy in the house. It really doesn't scare me. I don't care anymore. And it was making it difficult for me to breathe at night. So I put on a night vision camera across my bed, and I'm sleeping. And all of a sudden, in the middle of this video, there is a flash at my closet door. And then a full face is watching me sleep. And then it turns its head like this and looks towards the bathroom door and then disappears. And I was like, gotcha. I knew it was like a girl about my height. But I thought, y'all need to leave me alone. I need to breathe at night. And so night vision cameras, they're the best. They will catch that.
He just jumped like a frog in the middle of that.
Felt like somebody just burnt my leg. Like I burnt my leg.
My hands are here.
No, seriously. It felt like somebody put a lighter to my leg.
Well, then you need to check for a scratch.
I'll tell you something that was cool. Sometimes at night when I'm home, I'll turn the recorder on, or Ovilus, whatever. So twice, this was before I met Rebecca, twice, and I have no reason, because I don't even know anyone with this name that I'm aware of, but twice in my house on the Ovilus, I got the female's name, Adriana.
Oh, yeah.
So the first night of the Paravation event, after everything's said and done, Rebecca texts me and she's like, "Hey, whatever, come to this floor. I got some activity going on." So I step off the elevator. I go up to her, go up to Rebecca, and then her obelisk, the name Adriana popped up. Remember that?
Yep.
I was like, it's just, it was so odd, like out of the blue.
Weird
you know?
name. Odd.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never gotten that since at home.
We are out of time.
We are out of time.
We are. We'll have to continue this conversation another time. Part 2.
Anytime you have Sunday free and want to come back on and pick up where we left off.
Definitely.
We will. We'll have to do a part 2.
Yeah, you're always welcome.
The only reason why I knew we were out of time is Colette said, "Great show." I'm like, what? What time? What? I had to look.
Lala, just tell your husband that it's time to investigate in the house. Just pull out a camera, digital recorder, and see what happens. Have fun.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Thanks
guys,
for having me.
Thank you for joining. We love you. Thank you.
Love you guys.
We'll
Thank you
see
very much.
at the next adventure. And
absolutely, we got to talk her into coming to the bash.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, this year you're at
Where is it? When is it? What is it?
Oh, this year it's August 19, 20, and 21.
Yeah.
I thought you said Gettysburg.
Gettysburg Battlefield Bash.
I thought you were
Wait,
somewhere
I
else.
thought you said it was like the 10th or something like that.
No, August 20th, 19th,
19, 20, and 21. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not in. I don't know. I'm not in Utah. I thought you had said it was like a different date because then I think I said I was in Vernal for that. Right? I don't have to look at my calendar.
Yeah,
but I did get a hold of Gettysburg and they are booked. So they're looking at me for like a speaking thing for next year.
Well, just keep me abreast of your schedule and we'll work it out.
I will do that.
All right, lots of love. We'll talk
Thanks
to you soon.
Yes, thanks guys. Take care. Good night.
With us.
Have a good night. Thanks again.
Happy Father's Day. Bye guys.
Love you. Bye-bye. She is amazing.
Yeah.
Love her to death.
Hey, that was weird. I'm just sitting here listening, and it felt like somebody put a torch on the inside of my leg. I was like, oh.
Wasn't me.
Yeah,
my hands are right here at all times. I'm controlling the board.
That's the craziest.
Definitely.
That's the craziest thing.
Oh, I forgot. Wait a minute. She's still there. Don't go anywhere. Tell people how to find you.
You're lucky I wasn't dancing or something back here.
I was watching.
We were watching you. We knew we were.
People can find me at my website. It's really easy. Godstool.com. 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 All my links, everything is there.
Awesome.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah. Bye-bye. It's like, oh, I'm glad you didn't hang up yet.
But for those, seriously, man, I've been reading Rebecca's book here. Check it out. If you like the whole paranormal / spiritual side of things like I do, you definitely want to get it.
She's going like this. Told you we can see her.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Happy
Father's Day.
See you in 2 weeks.
And remember, grease for peace. You'll throw them though. No. See you guys.
You've been listening to Step Into the Paranormal with Ernie Atwell and David Seiler. Thank you for listening, and listen in next week for another topic and more great guests, right here on WLFE DB Radio Network.